Obviously, as you can see, we have an all-ladies panel to talk to you about creating this awesome world of DC superhero girls. First up, we've got Aria Moffly, the DC Entertainment Creative Director. Give her a round of applause. Then we've got Shea Fontana, the DC Superhero Girls graphic novel author. And we've got Christine Kim, Mattel Manager of Toy Design. Tania, Missad, Director of Mattel Consumer Insights. Ashley Eckstein, the voice of DC Superhero Girls Cheetah. And Lisa Yee, the author of the Random House DC Superhero Girls novel series. So, Aria, when did this project come about, and how did you guys kind of start forming what it was actually going to be?
Oh my gosh, it's been years in the making, so it's really exciting that we get to finally announce it. But I think it was an effort on behalf of a lot of collaborators, Mattel, CP, Lego, Random House, DC, but really Diane Nelson, our president, has been a huge champion of the project from the beginning.
And then obviously you've worked on a lot of the live action series, from Arrow to Flash, Gotham. Do we have some fans of those shows in here? Woo! Yeah. How does the creative process differ from working on a live action show to then working on this animated series?
Well, we definitely, like I said, have a lot more partners on this one because it is cross-divisional. We're bringing toys to you. We're bringing digital animated content, TV specials, and movies, and books, and graphic novels. So it's definitely been a lot more people to collaborate with, which has been a ton of fun. But it's also, writing for this younger demo has also been a lot of fun because you get to be sillier and a little over the top. And Shay's done a great job with the animation, and WB Animation, they're just the best in the business. And Jen Coyle, who's directing, has really done a fun job with our characters. So I think everybody's going to love what we have to show.
Ashley, let's talk a little bit about the character that you play. You guys know Cheetah, the rival generally to Wonder Woman, but are these characters on this show villains, or is she going to be kind of like gray area? Tell us a little bit about her.
There's no really villain. There's no really like bad girl, mean girl. Obviously, she is, would consider herself Wonder Woman's nemesis at times. But at the end of the day, for some reason, I've ended up playing a lot of the bad girls, the mean girls, per se. But
what? You're so sweet, though.
I don't know if it's. I do this voice for Cheetah. It's like, get out of my way, noob. I'm late. So it's really annoying. But the girls really do get along. It's fun to see them interact. Even Cheetah at times. There was one scene we did where she was trying so hard not to like it and get involved, and at the end of the day, she just jumped in with the rest of the girls, and it really is empowering with girl relationships, which I think is something we don't always see often. We see where girls are pitted against each other, and that's not the case here. Like, it really is empowering for girl friendships, and I love that.
And then obviously for all of you guys working together, no one's pitted against each other, and you guys are making this awesomely creative, fun world for younger girls, and even for, I don't have kids, and I'm not a little girl, and I still love it, and I want all the stuff, and I want the action figures. But what is it like for you finally getting to see these characters come to life?
For me, it's been just so exciting from starting about a year and a half ago, working on just the development of the characters, getting in there and deciding what characters we wanted to feature in the first couple of years, and now having written all the animation and working on the graphic novels. It's been really just so amazing to see these characters come to life.
How do you guys figure out when you're going to kind of roll out new characters, or what characters are coming that we can look forward to?
We're starting with our core Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and Batgirl, Harley, Poison Ivy, all those girls you see up there. But we really wanted a diverse roster, and then I think once we've kind of serviced each and let each one shine, we'll start to add more characters. So you'll see, like you said, there were a lot designed, so hopefully we'll get a chance to get to all of them in the future.
And obviously, this world is not only just the shorts, but we've got the action figures and the action dolls, and we're going to get books and graphic novels. Christine and Tania, can you guys talk a little bit about how you created these and what you wanted to do with each consumer product?
So we first and foremost talked to a lot of girls. So we wanted to find out from girls what they wanted out of superheroes, and they told us a lot of awesome stuff. We heard from girls that about 90% of them said that there weren't enough superheroes for girls, and they really wanted the superhero girls to be strong. They wanted really practical outfits. They told us what not to do. They didn't want dolls or action figures that had heels. They didn't want any sort of accessories that would get in the way of fights or fighting the villains. They were really specific about they had to be ready to fight. They had to be fierce and strong and powerful girls. So we're really inspired by that, by what girls told us they wanted in our designs.
And so taking all that information, we're processing it when we make the dolls to make sure that we're conveying their superpowers, that they look functional and relatable. And so you could see that the product, the toys, they're very toned and keeping true to their colors, their DNA. You know, Wonder Woman still has her gauntlet, she has her lasso of truth, she still has her tiara, but now she's like in pants and she's wearing a raglan top. So keeping it modern and relatable to girls. Was there anything that just talking to girls and moms that you guys were surprised to hear?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, you know, we do a lot of work on a lot of different sorts of doll brands, and we heard specifically they didn't want things that were pink. They didn't want to fashionista-y girls. They had to be powerful and strong, and that was really exciting for us. We thought, yay, girls. You know, they wanted these girls to be superheroes, strong and powerful and authentic to who they recognize.
And then obviously for this project, when you guys heard it was coming about, what was it about it that made you say, yes, we want to work on this?
I mean, for me, I was just so excited. There's such a, girls really just want role models and people to look up to. So I have the fun job of talking to 6 to 12-year-olds all the time. And to be able to offer role models for them and girls that are really strong that they can look up to, and now that they can participate in a really strong way into such a wonderful universe, that was exciting. It's really fun to be a part of it, and it's a moment of pride to be able to offer that to little girls.
And then obviously we've got the action figures, but we have the action dolls as well. Can you talk a little bit about what we're going to see revealed?
Yeah.
Yes. So I brought a little surprise. So here I have Supergirl. Yay! I absolutely love these. And this is the first time there have ever been action figures for girls for this line, right?
Yes, so it was an awesome opportunity to really create something specifically for girls. It's the first of its kind action figures designed for and in some ways by girls.
There's obviously boys at Superhero High as well. It's not just an all-girls school. And I love seeing the action figures because it's like, you know, I have like nephews who are like, I want superheroes, I want girls too, where it's like they want Katana, they want Zatanna, all those kind of characters. So how do you find that balance where making sure that it speaks to girls and guys?
From parents, we heard that they found them to be just as approachable for boys, and they really wanted their boys to get involved with more female superheroes. So we know that moms and parents approve of it for boys, and girls approve of it for themselves.
And I think on that question, from a story perspective, we're interested in telling compelling, character-driven human stories that will appeal to both boys and girls. And there's a lot within the animation and the graphic novel that's going to be little Easter eggs for some of our really big comic fans, that you'll find things in there that explain maybe some of the backstory of some of the characters that you haven't seen before.
And for Shea and Lisa, writing the novel and the graphic novels, how do you guys kind of go about making sure that it fits in with the shorts? Is it a separate kind of storyline, or are they going to tie in timeline-wise?
They tie in somewhat. There's no contradiction within the books and the books. Yay! The books and the animated shorts. But as a novelist, what's exciting for me is that I get to then go really in depth about the characters, because all the books are very character driven. So, you know, like, how many of you had the best time and you just loved high school? See? Okay. So imagine these girls. They're in high school with all the angst and everything that has high school, and they have superpowers, but they don't have their full superpowers yet. And they don't know if they're going to be superheroes or supervillains or what's going to happen. We might know, but they don't know. And so I get to write about the events that are happening and things that have happened in their lives that are going to shape who they are going to be. Because when all of you were in high school, you didn't know 10 years from now I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that or what's going to happen. I mean, maybe you thought you were, you thought you did. So that was the exciting thing about writing about these characters, because you get to really get into the reason why they are who they are.
And then for the graphic novel, obviously,
Yes.
Everybody in the comic world, I think when this project came up, it was like everybody wanted to write this. So what did it feel like for you when they actually told you, this is your project, you're going to do the graphic novel?
Well, they didn't tell me at first.
What?
They brought me in to interview, and they would not tell me at all. It was such a big secret. They wouldn't even tell me like the world that we were in. And so I knew that Aria's name was on the email to invite me to an interview. And so I Googled her, and I was like, oh, she works for DC, so maybe I'm going to get to do a Batgirl show. And I was like, that would be the most awesome thing that I could possibly do, because I love Batgirl. And then by the time, I think it was a couple weeks after I interviewed, they told me a little bit more about what the actual series was, and then to realize that I actually got to play in a much bigger DC sandbox with all of these characters. I think we have something like 50 characters already that we've done in the shorts so far. So it's a very big world that we're playing in. And it was the most thrilling thing and the most exciting kind of to bring these characters, these girl characters that are going to be so inspirational, and they're heroes. They're heroes that we're bringing that are going to empower this audience that we're going towards. That it was really exciting for me.
What have some of the reactions been for any of you guys that have been the most surprising or the most rewarding so far?
I mean, just in general, I think I think the wide variety of fans is really exciting, because obviously we targeted a specifically young demo, but parents are really excited about it. Teens are really excited about it. The fact that we're appealing to such a wide audience has been really, really rewarding.
I think for me, I've heard a lot that this is what I would have wanted to watch when I was a girl. And I think that's so revelatory of how important this is, that these successful women, like all the people up here, this is something that would have inspired us when we were kids.
I was really excited to hear dads say that this was going to be a way for them to get close to their daughters and really allow their daughters to be involved in this universe that they sometimes get very excited about and have a way to relate to their daughters. So I thought that was really cool and new.
You know, I think I've had the same response from people when they find out that I'm doing the project, because it's something that the whole family can enjoy together. And I have to say, I grew up aware of all of these characters. I definitely was aware of Wonder Woman and Lois Lane were the two characters that I grew up with. But I didn't grow up reading comics, and now it's almost, the universe is so vast, I don't even know where to start. And I want to learn about all of these characters. Like, I want to know more, and I'm just kind of overwhelmed. So I'm so excited about this series, because I feel like with my nieces and with, other, fangirls, that I can learn these characters with them.
And then Ashley, for you, speaking to the voiceover world, where, sometimes for voiceovers, you guys work together, you might read together, but a lot of times you read separately. Tell us about working on this project. Do you read separately? Do you get to meet with some of the other voiceover actors?
For this show, we've been recording separately. We did get to meet in the lobby for some of the sessions, and I have to say, again, there's something about the spirit of this show where, especially with acting, it can get competitive. And so sometimes waiting rooms aren't very talkative, and that is not the case. Like, all the girls, when we met, we were hugging and high-fiving and so excited that we're on the show together. This is going to be great. And I think it's just, again, setting a tone of we're all here to support each other rather than be against each other or be competitive with one another.
How do you guys kind of come up with the ideas of where you want to take the stories? Did you guys all sit around and kind of reveal some of the embarrassing or funny moments that you maybe had in high school?
I never had anything embarrassing happen. It's like I was working with Shea, so I had her animated scripts, so I was able to look at that and then kind of flesh things out, with the characters and thinking, okay, so Wonder Woman, for example, she's leaving Paradise Island, and what would that be like if you have lived in one place your entire life and boom, you're going to high school. You're going to high school somewhere in the United States, and you've never been anyplace else, and everything's weird. And so she, because Wonder Woman has this kind of sense of how things should be, things like when she's walking in Metropolis and all the cars are parked and they're not lined up exactly right, she fixes that. She does stuff like that.
Very particular.
So you get that, and so you really start with this character development. And then you put the character in a setting, and you see, if you know your character well enough, you know how they're going to react. You know what they're going to do. And so that's how all the books start, really.
Well, I think everybody here is really excited to get to read the books, to get their own action figures and action dolls. Who's getting them? Who's going to get the action figures? Who's getting the action dolls? Who's getting the graphic novel? Who's getting the novels? Everybody has their capes on. You guys are going to check out the website, dcsuperherogirls.com, for new shorts. Give our panel a huge round of applause. Thank you guys all so much for coming.
If you're playing LEGO Dimensions, you can pick up the Cyborg and Wonder Woman fun packs now. Plus, you can add to the massive cast of characters with a new set of fun packs coming out next month.
And make sure you guys click subscribe because we're getting ready for Halloween with an extra spooky list.
Spooky. Spooky.